I believe that many of you, God is raising you, God has called you. As we have heard today, you are a campus leader. And through you, God is going to bring a revolution. How many of you say amen to that? How many of you think that God is bringing a revolution through your life? How many of you say amen to that? Amen. God is doing something special. There is a revival that is taking place, and it's taking place on our campuses. It's taking place on our universities, and there's a different type of Christian being raised for the harvest, being raised to make disciples, becoming a leader and transforming a nation. I want you to know something. The enemy is not going to just watch you go and conquer. He's going to do everything he can to stop you. Do you know that? The enemy wants to do everything he can to steal, kill, and destroy. And there are certain things that the enemy uses and disguises in our hearts that end up killing our destinies and causing the dreams of God to be aborted in our lives. And today, I want to speak to you about protecting the fire. Say with me, protect the fire. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Destruction of destiny doesn't begin on the outside, it begins on the inside. Envy is a destiny killer. Envy is when you look at God's blessing and favor upon other people's lives and you begin to resent them and you begin to resent God. When you are constantly looking at other people's lives, you always have this temptation to feel like what they have, you should have. So what happened in the story of Cain and Abel? Both Cain and Abel built an altar. They built an altar to the Lord, and both of them brought an offering to the Lord. Abel brought a lamb, Cain brought beautiful fruit. And when they presented their offering to the Lord, the fire of God consumed Abel's offering, but Cain's offering was rejected. And Cain saw that God had blessed Abel's offering. Cain saw that God put favor upon Abel. And what went into the heart of Cain? He became envious to say, but why has God accepted Abel's offering, but he has rejected my offering? Why has God favored my younger brother, but he has rejected me? Cain became envious and he became resentful. And there are many people that they are going in church, they are going in cell. God has got a destiny for them. God has got a calling for them. They have been anointed. The Spirit of God is upon them. But somewhere along the line, they allow the temptation of comparison. They allow envy to get into their hearts. And they say, but why is he allowed to preach and I'm not allowed to preach? Why is he allowed to sing on stage and I'm not allowed to sing? There begins this comparison. There begins this thing where you look at other people and you are not content with where you are, and you start desiring what they have instead of being grateful for what you have. I want you to hear this. Envy is not just a bad thing. It will kill your destiny. It will destroy your life. If you allow envy in your heart, that little drop of poison, if you allow it to grow in your heart, it will destroy you. And it will completely remove you out of God's plan for your life.